Okay, so who is Kim? Who is Kali? Who would I be working with if we work together? All interesting questions and an even more interesting answer. And I want to start with a story, if that's all right. So there was a man. He was successful, he was professional, he was polished, he was respected, and he found himself quietly unraveling on the inside. His calendar was full. His it had this endless to-do list. By all stretch of the imagination, he was successful. He had everything that anyone could ever want. And yet inside, he felt empty. He felt hollow. He felt like he had lost the thread of his own aliveness of who he was. So he set out on this journey. He wanted to find a teacher, a guide, someone who could help him make sense of this pain, this ache that he couldn't put his finger on, that he couldn't name, that he couldn't make sense of. And so he traveled many thousands of miles, and he finally found this guru that was really known for wisdom and insight. And he sat before this teacher and asked, "Who are you?" And the teacher replied, "Who is asking?" And the man said, "Well, I'm James. I'm a husband. I'm a successful businessman. I'm a father." And the guru nodded and said, "Yeah, those are roles you play. But who are you underneath all of those roles? Who are you without the masks, the titles, the money, the power, the wounds, the armor, the pieces that try to protect us from the pain?" And the man had no answer, but something inside of him softened. And this exploration is where life truly begins. Not with fixing or performing or striving or accomplishments, but with unlayering, with peeling back what the trauma has made us to believe we were or what we had to be, and really making first contact with the truth of our bodies, the truth of our pleasure, of our pain, of our breath, of our yes and our no. And this is the kind of work that I offer, not just talk therapy, which sometimes is a good entry point, and not just sacred touch, but a weaving together of body-based somatics, coming back to sensuality, coming back to full aliveness and full pleasure and full pain and the erotic and the spiritual and the human. And through sex therapy, through trauma healing, through the Tantra path, through the breath, through somatic experiencing, body based experiencing, and through sacred consensual touch, I help people to come home to a body that's safe, a nervous system that's regulated, a voice that's free to express, and really a sense of self that's not just surviving, but it's liberated and free and sovereign and connected. This world isn't about becoming something else or someone else. It's about really remembering who you are underneath all of these things that we have buried ourselves under. And when I was born, my birth name is Kimberly, but I really embody Kali energy. And what that means is that I really walk with people on this courageous path of remembering their bodies, their desires, their aliveness, their wholeness. And Kali originates in the Hindu tradition, but I really think that Kali was born for all of us. She's not part of or even exclusive to a particular religion. She's a divine being, a divine mother, a divine mother goddess. And when she was born of the goddess Durga, who, in her wrath, in her anger, in her she wanted to destroy evil, and she wanted to protect order and love. And Kali was the fierce mother that was born of that rage, but she's a mother of transformation, a wild, unapologetic, like, force of nature, force of truth. And Kali doesn't coddle our illusions. She doesn't stroke our egos. Instead, her goal is to really, like, punch through these masks and these delusions and these limiting beliefs. And her goal is really to just kind of slice away that everything that no longer serves us, or the life that we want to live. And she has this sword of clarity, and her love is pure, and her love is kind, and her love can be very abrupt. She devours what is false, so that the truth can emerge through, so that what is real and authentic and fully expressed can rise, unbound by these falsities. And in Kali's presence, we're really stripped down bare, not to be destroyed or to be humiliated, but to be revealed, to be unveiled, to blossom. And she's this fierce grace that births freedom and liberation. And so while I'm a licensed mental health professional, I embody this Kali energy, this fierce mother who efficiently cuts through the layers to help individuals and couples to live a fully felt and a fully connected life, where we're really alive and thriving in life. And I'm trained in multiple modalities, and sex therapy and trauma resolution and crisis stabilization, which is when people are having thoughts of suicide, and they can't see the beautiful life that they want to be living. I'm trained in holotropic breath work and somatic body experiencing, and I'm trained in sacred touch. And while each of these tools has its own structure and its own wisdom, what I live and what I offer is an embodied sacred Tantra love. And this love accepts all of the parts of you. It accepts all of the parts of me. And what I do is I weave together these modalities, these roles, these hats, to offer a living tapestry of healing. One that honors the science of the nervous system, of the body, and the mystery, the beauty of the soul. And some people come to me, and they're feeling numb, they're feeling disconnected from pleasure. They're stuck in these loops of shame, and there's this repressed anger and sadness, and they're really holding their traumas in their bodies. And this trauma in the body, it can't be shifted through talk therapy alone. Some people, come to me, and they're deeply curious. They want to explore their sensuality and their sexuality. They want to expand their capacity for intimacy with themselves and with the world and the people around them. They want to reclaim their bodies after years of repression and self-judgment. And what we do is we work together to understand the patterns around intimacy, around your desires, around your boundaries and your communication. And what we explore is what has culturally or personally been conditioned into you to believe this is what I should do, this is what I should be, this is how I should show up in the world. And we begin rewiring this script, this life script, from a place of truth that honors who you really are. And we gently start to release the stored traumas to really build the capacity for love and for safety in the nervous system. And this isn't about digging into painful memories, it's about creating safety in the now, in this moment, so that the body can finally just take a breath. It can exhale and fully give and receive love. And tantra love is sacred. Tantra teaches that nothing, no part of us, no emotion, no sensation is separate from the divine. And through conscious breath and movement and intention and touch, we remember ourselves as whole beings. Not as something that's broken to be fixed, but a being to be revealed, to be nurtured. And through the breath, we release these deep held emotions, and then we access the wisdom that the body holds. And through the breath, many clients uncover repressed emotions, these griefs that have been carried through our lineage, through our DNA, and they really connect with the insights from their soul. It's a true remembering of who we are and who we're meant to be. And it's a way of letting the breath and the body lead the healing rather than the mind, which, I mean, if we're honest, hasn't gotten us very far to this point. And then there's the sacred touch, perhaps the most misunderstood part of it all. It is never invasive, it is never agenda driven. It is slow, it's attuned, it's reverent. It meets the body where it's at. And sometimes this might look like a hand on a shoulder, or holding a hand. And at other times it may involve more structured touch to awaken dormant energies. But it is always grounded in deep, loving presence and clear consent. And clients, will often tell me, I've never felt so safe being in my body. Or that, this is the first time I've experienced touch that doesn't ask for anything in return, that is only holding me and allowing me to soften into who I am, and to receive this love. And these are the heart of the work that I offer, where repair doesn't happen through the words, but through this embodied, held experience. And I believe that this is the medicine of our time. This is where slowly, we're moving as a field, and we're welcoming this integration, this reintegration of this eros, of this sensuality, of this taking in of the world around us, this full emotions and full embodiment. We're not chasing peak experiences, or spiritually bypassing our pain because it's too difficult to feel, but we're really embracing the full range of who we are. And this work, it's not linear. It doesn't promise quick fixes. I'm still on this journey, and I'll be on this journey until the day I die, but I'm fully living. And this work, it offers something much more real, much more authentic. It's a return to your body, to your temple, to your voice, to your pleasure, to your power. And you don't need to be fixed. You don't need to be given a label. You need to be felt. You need to be seen. You need to be held. You need to be reminded that your body is a sacred site of intelligence and aliveness. It's not something to be overridden, or to be numbed out, or apologized for, or repressed. And whether we're working with the breath, or with touch, or sensation, or story, I meet you at the pace that your body sets. Your boundaries are honored, your truth is welcomed, and your pleasure is reclaimed, not as something separate from healing, but as a part of it, an integral part of it. And this work is intimate. This work is deep, and it's not for everyone. But for those who feel called to this fully alive embodiment, it's an invitation to come home to yourself, to your desires, to your power. And I don't see you as a client or a diagnosis. I see you as a whole being, a co-journeyer who is unfolding and blossoming, and it really would be an honor to walk beside you on that journey. So if this appeals to you, if you say, heck yes, this is what I want in my life, go fill out the application. If there's no commitment in that, we can jump on a 20-minute discovery call. We can see if we fit, if our energies, are in alignment, if I am someone that you want to work with, because I'm not everyone's flavor. So go fill out the application. We'll jump on a call, and then we'll see if we're a fit, if this is something that you want to, the path that you want to jump